As we commemorate the 75 years of India's independence, we Christians have many reasons to be proud of its contribution towards the nation. Both prior and after the independence, Indian Christians have made major contributions to the country's growth. In fact, the contribution may be far beyond its numbers, both in quality and quantity. Indian Christians have played and are playing an important role in every field of India's development, particularly in the development of the poor. Delhi, India's capital, has many beautiful sights to view. Political architecture, religious structures, and historical structures can take us back in time. Gyara Murti, 11 statues, is one of them. This magnificent statue captures the spirit of the historic Salt March, which culminated in the civil disobedience campaign led by Mahatma Gandhi. The Salt March, also known as the Dandi March, began on March 12, 1930, to protest the British government's imposition of high taxes on salt. The British government used to control salt production and distribution in India during colonial rule. It was unlawful for Indians to produce and sell salt on their own. The Dandi March spanned 385 kilometers and took 24 days to accomplish, with 78 of Gandhiji's loyal volunteers by his side. Titus G was one among them and the sole Christian. Tevar Titus was born in Maramon, Travancore, on February 18, 1905. He came from a farming family as well. He was a member of the Maramon Marthoma parish. After graduating from high school, he began teaching at a Vanda Serikara school for a few years before enrolling in the Allahabad Agricultural University, now Shuats, and passing an Indian Dairy Diploma degree with distinction. Titus G was so captivated by Mahatma Gandhi's manner of life, beliefs, and simplicity that he chose to join Gandhiji's Goshala ashram in Sabarmati. Titus faced immense challenges as he entered a new era of his life. The ashram's way of life was basic and austere. The ashram's inmates were only allowed 2 sets of clothing and were expected to perform their own chores. Early morning, after prayers and 2 hours of charka, each one was assigned his or her duties. As young Titus accustomed to the ashram's schedule, he got used to the disciplined life and even enjoyed spinning yarn. He was chosen by Mahatma Gandhi as a secretary for his milk project in the Sabarmati ashram near Ahmedabad. Titus and Anama married in 1933. Anama joined the Sabarmati ashram after her marriage and donated her wedding ornaments to the ashram. Gandhiji was very keenly interested in the activities of the dairy at the ashram. It was in these formative years that Titus G got to know Gandhiji personally, and his dedication to the freedom struggle grew deeper. When Mahatma Gandhi decided to break the salt law in 1930, he chose trusted Titus to be one of the selected 80 men. On March 12, 1930, Gandhi and 78 male satyagrashis set out on foot for the coastal village of Dandi, Gujarat, some 240 miles from their starting point in Sabarmati. Titus G was one of the satyagrahi who accompanied Gandhi in this historic event known as Dandi March or the Salt Satyagraha. They were beaten up and arrested by the British police. Titus G was arrested during the march to the Darsana salt depot. He was first detained in the Jabalpur jail and subsequently shifted to the Nasik jail. On being released from the prison, Titus G went back to the Sabarmati ashram in 1932. Gandhiji asked him to take charge of the Gaushala dairy farm at the ashram again. In 1933, Gandhiji suddenly decided to disband the ashram. Gandhiji's instructions to Titus G was that he takes the entire cattle out of the ashram and protect the cattle. Ready to take Gandhiji at his word, he moved them to a nearby stable and stayed there himself. Again, in the middle of 1935, when Gandhiji decided to hand over the ashram property to Harijan Sevak Sangh, Titus G moved around several other parts of India, working in several dairy farms till he finally settled down in Bhopal. In 1970, Titus G published a book, The Bharat of My Dreams. In this, he expressed his hope for this nation. He believed in the equality of all human and worked for the upliftment of the masses through the lifelong commitment. He died on 8th of August 1980 at the Kasturba Hospital in Bhopal and was buried in the Christian cemetery there. He never got any medals or pension for his participation in the freedom struggle. He neither expected nor demanded a recognition from the government of India for his service to the nation.